Glorious Jesus. Glorious Jesus. Now, yeah, this is a very deep message. It's a very spiritual message, and it's not for everybody. You know, you people who reject him, just don't even bother. Just don't even bother. Just move on. Well, you know, do what you do, because you people who reject him and you don't repent. You're done. Is what I'm saying. That's all I can say. And this is not a game. But anyhow, glorious Jesus. Yeah, I mean, man, see this stuff. I really love this stuff too. I do. I really do. And I'm just a pure soul in this stuff. I really am, and I really do love the real Jesus. That's what you gotta understand about me. Always have, always will, and even transfer in spirit realm, I will. And as I'm being led by the Spirit too. You haters, you're done too. You're done by glorious Jesus too. You're done by Him. And see, you people don't even understand that. You people don't get this stuff. You people don't get this stuff. That's what I'm saying. You religious people, you're done too. So I wouldn't even bother with this either. You're religious, envious, jealous, secret competition. Just don't even bother with this stuff. Don't even bother with this. Don't even bother with this. But anyhow, glorious Jesus, man, see, this stuff right here is deep right here. Because see, glorious Jesus, man. As I'm truly being led by the Spirit, what you gotta understand is glorious Jesus is a whole nother level of him, is what I'm trying to tell you. And yes, the black Jesus, that is it. This other stuff going on, it's perishing. But anyhow, the glorious Jesus, man, the glorious Jesus, black, Yeshua, Jesus, like, it's truly dealing with him just being so much of glory. And see, what you gotta understand is that his spiritual followers and believers bear witness with glorious Jesus. They bear witness with what I'm telling you people about him and what he's leading me to say about him and in my relationship with him. And what you gotta understand is he is glorious, and his glory is unmatched. Satan cannot even attack him in this, is what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm telling you. And see, I'm really about to get into the stuff. What you gotta understand is that I'm already knowing about this stuff. This stuff is in the realm of the Spirit, though, people. And what you also gotta understand is a lot of you will not even be experiencing Jesus on this level too. Some of you won't. A lot of you will barely make it to heaven too. That's the thing about this stuff. The stuff is not a game, people. You people who are spared by God's grace and mercy, and that stuff is very scarce. I keep telling you, you won't have anything concerning heaven. And so you won't be even experiencing this stuff right here. And this stuff is deep, people. This stuff is deep. But see, I'm already a partaker in this stuff concerning with him being in his glory, and in the stuff that I'm talking about, glorious Jesus, and him being glorious. But yeah, as I'm being led by him and God, humbly speaking, and all glory to both of them. But see, this is just about glorious Jesus. And see, it's dealing with him being pretty much just in glory. And see, here's the stuff, man. Here's the stuff too. So I'm even being led by the Spirit, man. This stuff is good, man. I love this stuff. I do. I feel God's presence on this stuff too, right here. Because this stuff is very deep. See, you people don't believe in all this stuff. And see, you people who, you're hypocrites, just please don't bother with this stuff. Secretly jealousy, you envy, you envy me, and you envy all these other people that you secretly envy and compete with. This ain't for you, so don't even bother with this stuff. That's what I'm telling you. Don't bother with it. Just move on, is what I'm telling you, because this ain't for you, and it will not be for you either. And see, you will not be partaking in this stuff with glorious Jesus, because see, there's just so many levels to the real Jesus, is what you gotta understand. And see, the people who are going to be a part of, partaking with glorious Jesus is God's elect, and that's it. I'm telling you now, God's elect and God's spiritual people, and people who are in him on a spiritual level, and the people who are a part of heaven and partakers of heaven and these high realms of heaven and all this deep stuff, people who are in him on a spiritual level. That's all I can say. And see, glorious Jesus, yeah, it's dealing with people who are, I want to say, predestined for heaven too. Yeah, and pure souls will be partaking in glory with glorious Jesus, and what I'm about to get into concerning him being glorious. And yeah, I mean, babies, certain babies too, who are, I want to say just certain babies that are just, yeah, definitely of heaven and of God, that are pure. Yeah. Concerning heaven, they partake in this stuff too. Everybody else and all you other beings, no, you will not be a part of this stuff right here. But yeah, glorious Jesus. Yeah. I mean, he's pretty much just, very, very much glory. Just not only surrounded him, just words can fully not describe this stuff right here. But see, I already know about this stuff. And see, the people who are going to bear witness with him being in this glorious stuff is the beings who are predestined for heaven, and the people who are predestined for heaven and a part of God's kingdom. We will resonate with glorious Jesus and him in his glory, glorious state is what I'm trying to say. His glorious state. And we're going to bear witness with this in a certain part of heaven, and certain beings are already a part of this, is what I'm telling you. And yes, I'm a part of this too, is what I'm telling you too, humbly speaking. But there's just a higher intensity level that I will be experiencing this on with him and his other followers and people who God truly picked. Yeah, you're a part of this too. And everybody else, no, you're not, and you will not be. But yeah, beings too with the glorified body that God has already really promised his people too. So what you gotta understand. Yeah, the glorified body is real. And it's in, like, that's what I'm saying. This stuff is already in effect. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And God's people, his spiritual people, already bear witness with this stuff. And see, I already bear witness with glorious Jesus, because glorious Jesus, he has many different, like, man, like, see, glorious Jesus, it's like this certain, there's somebody specifically in the Bible too who had a coat of many colors. I don't know who it was. I don't know who it was, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. People, I'm not here to be perfect in my speech or anything, or just, anything. I don't know if it was Joseph. I don't know who it was. It was somebody though. Could have been him. I think it was, maybe, but it doesn't even matter about that, because what I'm telling you is that, Jesus he's pretty much just so much of this glory that, like I said, you have to be in the glorified body to even fully bear witness with him. And see, he has so much stuff within, he has so much stuff within him, and these things are like different things that he just truly earned, and that is just a part of him overall in general, and Jesus' glory, like, it's just on another level, people. What you gotta understand is glorious Jesus, this is dealing with like another form of him, is what I'm trying to tell you. You gotta understand that the real Jesus he's too magnificent, he's too powerful. And see, God's people who are a part of heaven, we are gonna bear witnessing with him, and we're also gonna have our own coats of many colors. Oh, glory to God. And see, he's sharing this with me, people. He's sharing this with me by the Spirit. And see, we're gonna have many different things and gifts. Because the real Jesus will reward his people. That's what you gotta understand. And God is a part of that too. And see, we're gonna have many coats of many colors, just like that guy. I don't know if it was Joseph. It could have been. I think it is. I think it is. Whoever is the coat of many colors. See, I'm not here to be. You people worry about the wrong things too. Majority of people do. You do. And see, you people who do, that's what I'm saying. You're religious. It's you religious people. That's all I gotta say. I don't even gotta say too much. But anyhow, yeah, glorious Jesus. That's what I'm saying. There's many forms of the real Jesus too. But overall, yeah, it's dealing with the black Jesus. And see, the black Jesus, see, man, this is a deep one too. And God is allowing me to share this too. See, the real Jesus too, he can shapeshift too. That's what you gotta understand. The real Jesus, see, the glorious, him in this glorious form, what I'm telling you is that he can shapeshift. And him shapeshifting is pretty much him, traveling in the realm of the spirit and pretty much just keeping Satan from doing many things, slaying demons, him just overall just operating out of this supernatural glow and flow and power that is truly unmatched, and it's truly extravagant and just unmatched. And see, glorious Jesus, him being in this form is just like his people who truly receive the glorified body will bear witness with him. And see, God has promised his people this. That's all I can tell you. So everybody will not be really bear witnessing with glorious Jesus. Him in this form is what I'm trying to say. But God's people will bear witness with the real Jesus overall. Yes, you will. Even you hearing this, you're part of his kingdom. Yeah, you will bear witness with him overall. But there's just certain things that certain people will not be, having access to concerning these parts of heaven, and these certain things I'm even saying, that I'm even talking about, bear witnessing with glorious Jesus. No, everybody will not be. It will be specific people who did things for his kingdom, and overall who God sees fit for, to allow certain beings and people to bear witness with, depending on who they are. Everything is taken into consideration by the God of Israel, and overall the real Jesus too. And that's what you gotta understand. People will be rewarded according to who they are, their deeds, their motives towards people, beings, all this deep stuff. And see, glorious Jesus, like he's truly in a glorified realm. It's not even so much body, realm. And see, you need the glorified body to be in this realm. And see, that's what I'm saying. You people are not going to be a part of this stuff either, because majority of you people are barely going to make it to heaven. That's the thing. So you people who barely make it into heaven, no, you will not be bear witnessing with glorious Jesus. And see, this is another form of him he's allowing me to share. Whether you people believe this or not, I don't care, because I'm already knowing it. I'm already bear witnessing with him. Now, people, what you gotta understand in this form, but it's not at the highest intensity until I transfer into the spirit realm, of course. But I already bear witness with these things now. Everything I share, this stuff is, I keep telling you, it's not later. All that later shit with you people, I keep telling you it's not later. But see, Satan, you people done. Satan has got majority of you people. You're gonna be with him. So there is a majority of you people hearing this. You people who are outside of him and have not repented and all this deep stuff. You reject Jesus, okay? You reject his people. You reject his kingdom. You reject who he's sending your way. Okay, keep doing it. But see, you're not going to be a part of this stuff. But see, I'm already a part of this stuff, humbly speaking. And God's elect too. Very other few pure souls and beings, and who God sees fit. They already bear witness with it, and they will bear witness with it. They will bear witness with it, people. I'm not here to be perfect in my speech and all that crazy shit with you people. Man, this stuff is deep, people. And see, glorious Jesus, he's going to share a lot of gifts. He's going to give his people gifts within gifts for people who truly loved him sincerely, in the midst of hardships, in the midst of adversity, in the midst of tests, in the midst of all these tests from God the Father, in the midst of people rejecting them, and your people reject me and all this stuff too. Yeah, God is leading me to say the stuff because it's not a game, people. Man, you people don't get it. You don't get it. I belong to the real Jesus is what you got to understand. That's what you really, truly must understand too. And then also I belong to God. And see, I have a relationship with both of them is what I'm trying to tell you. And many of you, you don't even have a relationship with Jesus. So you're not even going to understand this stuff. But humbly speaking, I mean, may the real Jesus anoint his people, anoint you who belong to him. May he anoint you. And may he seriously just anoint you and bring you into higher realms with him. That's all I'm really saying. And I want to say too, just much love, may much love and God's true love just bear witness with you and your spirit for you people who are of God's kingdom and who love God sincerely. Everybody else, it's not for. And God's wrath is on you, is what I'm telling you. This stuff is now, people. It's not later. That later shit is not valid, people. People are in hell now, and people are going. People understand that. And see, glorious Jesus. Man, this stuff is in a certain realm of heaven, people, with him and God in the kingdom of heaven and heaven's participants. That's what you gotta understand. And other people and beings will be sharing different gifts as well in the realm of the spirit, people. You gotta understand that this stuff is spiritual and you people are not. And that religion stuff is in hell too. And Satan is behind religion, people. And I'm being led by the spirit by all this stuff. But yeah, getting back to glorious Jesus, he's very glorious. And, everybody who has eternal life with Jesus, has a relationship with Jesus, everybody who belongs to Jesus, you will bear witness with this stuff. And who God finds, fit to bring into this stuff on a spiritual level. Yeah. And everybody else, you will be outside of this. And you will not be a part of this concerning in heaven either, is what I'm saying, or any parts of heaven. There's many parts, many sections, many landscapes in heaven, many atmospheres that certain people will not be able to go in, that you will go in. And then there's other atmospheres that you people will not be going in, that I'm going in and able to go in and able to have access to, is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to be able to walk in certain atmospheres that other people are not able to, humbly speaking. And then it will be the same for you, certain people too, depending on who you are, what you've done, depending on who you are in God and your love for God and what you've done for God and your deeds. Your deeds, people. God is paying attention, people, whether you people believe this stuff or not. And see, I don't have anything to do with all that, but the real Jesus is, glorious Jesus. He's very real. And there's this certain form of him where he's going to give his people certain special things, people who, were rejected by people and beings and, people denied your calling. They denied your purpose. They denied you overall. See, you got to understand, glorious Jesus, he's in a certain form where he's just sharing certain information with his true people, his followers, his people. And see, I'm talking about spiritual followers and people who genuinely love him too. Yeah, you're a part of this too. And see, the thing is, he's going to share with you so many things about yourself and people who really loved you for you. Concerning in the earth realm and concerning in the spirit realm, people who are praying for you and all this deep stuff. He's going to share all this stuff concerning you people. He's going to share it with you and he's going to give you many gifts in the realm of the spirit, though, people. He's going to give you these things in this glory realm that he's in concerning him being glorious Jesus, and see, you people who don't believe in this and all that stuff. Okay. See, you people who don't believe in this are the very people who will not be a part of the rapture, and you will be left behind, and you're already being left behind now. And also going into the spirit realm, you're done. You people who don't believe in this type of stuff, you're the very people who are rejecting the real Jesus. You reject that he's black, and you reject that, he's the true Messiah. And overall, you just reject heaven. And see, that's the thing. You're not going to be a part of heaven anyhow. But, you people, majority of people hearing this stuff who, reject this matter is all I'm saying, and in these things, because this stuff is very real, and I've already experienced this type of stuff with the real Jesus on a high level. But see, it's just so much more deeper in the realm of the spirit, and even transferring in, if I'm being real, it's way more deeper. And see, everybody who God has just given eternal life and God's people overall, he does promise you the glorified body as well, but everybody will not be in certain realms concerning glorious realms with Jesus. Only people who truly love the real Jesus for him, people, that's it. And you people who, like I said, if you've done certain things concerning for him and all this stuff, or certain deeds as well, you will be rewarded accordingly, is what you got to understand. That's what you got to understand, by God and the real Jesus. And see, there's just many forms of Jesus, that's all I'm trying to say. But overall, yeah, I'm talking about Black Jesus. And there's many forms of him, especially in the spirit realm. So yeah, with all that being said, though, God's people will bear witness with this. And everybody else, you won't even believe in this. So, don't bother with this stuff, because majority, you're not going to be a part of heaven anyways. So don't even bother with this stuff. I'm just being real, because it's not a game. You people, man, you people, man, you people. But yeah, I'm about to close this out. But yeah, before I close this out, before I do though, glorious Jesus, he's just very powerful, just unbearable when he's truly in this form too. And it's in a certain realm. So it's like a glorious realm that, you will, really just have to be in the glorified body. And see, everybody is not really receiving that too. You see, religions and all this stuff, they make it seem, too. See, I'm being led by the Spirit, before I do close this stuff out, people. But this stuff is not a game. And see, they make it seem like everybody will have a glorified body and, everybody's going to get rewarded. But no, it's not. That's not the case. Yeah, God's people and people who truly love God, you will inherit eternal life, if you truly have accepted God and all that deep stuff, you will. But see, no, everybody will not be experiencing Jesus on the same level or these certain realms, is what I'm telling you. No, it's all going to depend on what you have done, your deeds, your intentions towards people, family, everything is going to be brought into judgment. You gotta understand this stuff, and you will be rewarded according to who you are and your deeds, everything, intentions. And glorious Jesus, like I said, he will be giving his people many, many things, taking his people through many, many realms and giving them more and more things. And, Jesus, once again, like I say, he really does shapeshift in this realm. And see, that's what you gotta understand, is that I keep telling you people that light and darkness must go at it for quite some time. And the real Jesus, when he's in this form, this form here that I'm talking about, he's truly he can't be stopped. People, he can't be stopped in any form. That's what you gotta understand. But see, here's the thing about this stuff is that in this form right here, the glorious Jesus right here, man, he's just pretty much like, man. Words can't fully really describe it, people. He's just really glorious, though. And there's so much glory surrounding him and overwhelming him in his people, in the realm, and in these realms that he's traveling and shape-shifting in, people. You got to understand that the real Jesus is truly magnificent, and he is glorious. And, you people, I'm about to close this out too, but, glory to the Lamb. So understand that he already came as an innocent lamb, people. He did. And he still is innocent. And he always will be, and he's coming back to slay people. You got to understand that angels of glory bear witness with this stuff too, that I'm even telling you people. So you people don't believe in this stuff. Okay. You don't got to, people. You don't have to, because many of you will not be a part of this stuff anyways. I'm just being real. Certain people who make it to heaven by God's grace and mercy, nah, you're not going to be a part of this. I'm already knowing you're not. You will be rewarded, and God will do different things with you people. But there's certain things you will not be having access to concerning heaven. I'm telling you that now. And I'm being led by the Spirit, many, many things. And see, with me, before I close this out too, I'm really about to close this out. But with me, God, I told you people already, I'm going to be in a very high part of heaven, which you got to understand. And see, you say people you don't believe. Okay. What I'm trying to tell you is I've already connected with God and the real Jesus on very high levels. That's what you got to understand about me. So I've already encountered God, in these realms that I'm telling you about. And see, it's not a game. I am a very humble servant. You got to understand that about me. I am humble. I truly am. And not only that, already bear witness with this stuff. And I'm just already a part of this stuff. That's what you got to understand too. And see, God is going to withhold certain things, just due to like certain things I have done throughout my journey. But overall, what you got to understand, people, is that I've stood for God in the midst of all these things I have, and more, and way beyond you people. I don't even want to say more or anything. This is not about anything concerning, any of that stuff. I'm not into competition or nothing. What I'm trying to tell you though is that I've stood for him in the midst of adversity, in the midst of certain sins and everything. I've stood for the real Jesus, and see, I'm going to be rewarded, and I'm already being rewarded. I am. And, I'm going to be having access to many, many things in heaven and bear witnessing with many, many people, but many, many people are not going to be a part of heaven either, more or less, of course. But there is many souls in heaven. And there is a lot of participants of heaven, but of course there's more people in hell, going to hell. And this is just prophecy, people. And this is just the way that this stuff is already into fruition concerning prophecies, people, and prophecy. This stuff is deep. And I'm about to truly close this out. But I will be in very high part of heaven and traveling in the Spirit with Jesus. And God's elect too will be as well. And they will be in the glorified body. I'm a part of all that stuff, people. But there is certain things that God will withhold from me too, until, I earn certain things later in a way too, concerning, he's allowing me to share this I don't know, but he's allowing me to share this is all I'm really saying. And then, like I said, certain things I will get immediately, as I get through judgment and all that deep stuff. I'm not exempt from none of that. That's what you got to understand about me. But, and the stuff too, that's what you gotta understand. But there's just certain things I will just have access to just off of everything I've been through concerning with God and with the real Jesus, and everything that I've done for him too. Beyond this platform, people, it's beyond that stuff is what I'm telling you. And see, a lot of you people, you're not going to be a part of this stuff I'm telling you, because glorious Jesus, he's going to be truly glorious. He already is. And see, there's a certain realm where he does many things. He shape shifts, and he overall is just showing his people certain things, giving his people secrets about things and about them and about themselves and about things in the realm of the Spirit. So much stuff, man. Everything is just truly not for you people. But with all that being said, certain things, will be withheld from me until I do certain things for God, and then other things God will give me, access to, and I've earned many things too. You got to understand that. That's all I'm really saying. So with all that being said, though, I will bear witnessing with glorious Jesus and many other forms of him too. So with all that being said, though, the stuff is deep, and God's elect and you people who are pure souls and truly love him, you will be a part of this too. It may not be to the highest extent. It will be in some form of way, though. You will. And see, depending on what you do for him too, will determine how much of capacity that he, reveals these different forms of him to you, because there's many more forms of him. But with all that being said, this is deep. And I love this stuff. I love God, and I love the real Jesus, and I always have, always will, people, even transferring in. A lot of you will bear witness with me. You other people, no, you're on your way to hell, and it's not a game. I'm not here to give false hope and all that stuff. You people are on your way to hell. You're outside of him. You don't love him. You don't love the people he sends your way, your family. You don't show people mercy. you're done. You're done is what I'm saying. God says to walk in love, but also walk in truth. And the full truth is what you got to understand. You religious people, you're done. You don't even get these matters. And with all that being said, yeah, I'm out.